How's it going, everyone? Sony is running its massive Halloween sale right now over on the PlayStation Store, and in this video I want to take a look at game deals under the price of $10. Now, there's a couple of other sales running right now as well. Games under $20, and I believe the extended play sale. Those sales are ending next week, but none of those deals are going to be mentioned in this video. If I get the chance, there will be a separate video over the weekend covering some deals from that. But without further ado, let's get right into it. We got a lot of games, and a lot of games fitting that Halloween theme, so yeah. Starting things off, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard 50% off for $9.99. This is an excellent survival horror title, really brought Resident Evil back to the forefront, and it was a great game. Kind of gets forgotten about these days because everybody has their eyes on like Resident Evil 8 and the Resident Evil 2 remake, and rightfully so, those games are great, but Resident Evil 7 is definitely a game worthwhile to go back and play, especially if you did miss out on it, and if you do have a VR headset, very good with a VR component attached to it. You don't have to play it with VR by any means, but it's just another layer to the experience as well. Not the most lengthy game, but that's to be expected with the Resident Evil games. You kind of know what you're getting into here, but really has that eerie vibe going on for it and brought it back from, you know, RE4, 5, and 6, which was kind of lacking that, but Resident Evil 7 has that in spades. Next up, we have Doom 2016, 50% off for $9.99. You guys often hear me talk about Doom Eternal these days because that game is an excellent first-person shooter, but Doom 2016 is also very good. Yes, it's not as good as Doom Eternal, I would say. Some people even disagree with me on that. Some people like this game more. Whatever the case may be, whatever opinion you fall in if you did play the games, everybody agrees that Doom 2016 is a great game. It's a visceral, fast-paced, gory first-person shooter. If you've yet to play a Doom game, start with Doom 2016 and then you can buy Eternal. That's on sale as well. It's like $29.49 or something like that, but this is a great game. And for a single-player first-person shooter, it's actually a bit more on the lengthy side. Like, you're not going to beat this game in 4 to 5 hours. You'll have a decent bit of content, and it's always a fun game to go back and play just because of the sheer chaos that it brings. But nevertheless, $9.99 for it is pretty good. Also available on PlayStation Now if you would prefer to play it that way. Next up, I want to mention Outlast and Outlast 2. Now, the funny thing is, you can actually get both these games under $10. Outlast 1 is $3.99. Outlast 2 is $5.99. Obviously, if you want to get into that horror mood, Outlast and Outlast 2 are perfect games. They are a little bit, you know, disturbing for some people. Like, get that through. You know, maybe they're not for everyone, but if you really want to get into that horror theme for Halloween, and if you want to, like, you know, have a game that's a little bit scary to play with a friend, not saying that this is a co-op title, but you can have friends over and somebody can play it and you can all kind of get immersed into the experience. It's really good in that sense, but definitely check it out. The Outlast Bundle of Terror is also on sale. That's $11.59, so if you do want to check that out. Whistleblower for Outlast 1 is also $1.79, so you can pick that up as well if you do want. But great games here, especially for that horror mood. Next up, Wolf Among Us, 65% off for $5.24. What can be said about Wolf Among Us that I haven't already said? Well, not much. It's an excellent game by Telltale, and in my opinion, the best game that Telltale has put out. I loved Walking Dead Season 1, cried at the end even, but Wolf Among Us is just on another level in my opinion. Maybe that is a little bit of a warped view because Wolf Among Us has only had one season out, where Walking Dead has had a plethora of seasons. Like, if Walking Dead only had Season 1 out at this point, I might lean to Walking Dead, but some of the subsequent seasons with Walking Dead weren't exactly at the level of Season 1, but Wolf Among Us Season 1 was absolutely excellent. Main character is so engaging, the decision-making is actually of high quality, and the supporting cast is really good as well. Presentation is great. Can't wait for Wolf Among Us Season 2. Thank the heavens that it's happening. Was really worried for a little bit when all that stuff with Telltale went down and we were kind of on the fence on whether or not we were going to get a Season 2. Now that we know we're going to get a Season 2, it makes recommending this game all that much easier, especially at a budget price point of $5.24. Next up, we have Focus Home Interactive and Don't Nod Entertainment's A Vampyr, which is 75% off for $9.99, also included with PlayStation Now. Now, Vampyr is a game that, leading up to its release, I wasn't completely sold on, and honestly, I thought it was going to be a bit of a train wreck. I thought it was going to be a bit of a flop, but what turned out with Vampyr turned out to be a pretty darn good game. Now, it does have its flaws, it does have its issues, especially from a gameplay standpoint. That element of the game isn't all too engaging. It's just a little bit blasé, so to speak, but the atmosphere, the voice acting, the story, those elements of the game are what you get into Vampyr for, and they do those elements really, really well, making the positives of the game greatly outweigh the negatives. And if you want to get immersed into a world, I think Vampyr does a really good job. I mean, it's a Don't Not Entertainment game, so you knew that they were going to do a pretty solid job with the storytelling and voice acting and world building, and they do a pretty good job with that. Kind of fumbles at the end, in my opinion, but I still thought it was a very good game, and at $9.99, I think it's a great pickup. I mean, I paid $50 for it, and I had a great time with it. Next up, we have Wolfenstein: The New Order, which is 60% off for $7.99, another game that is available through PlayStation Now if you would rather get it that way. Excellent first-person shooter that is also, much like Doom 2016, a little bit on the lengthier side when you think about first-person shooter campaigns. Now, obviously, it is a single-player only game, but great gameplay here and a pretty good story as well. Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus is on sale as well. I would say get that game as well, but I would play Wolfenstein games in order, so play The New Order, then jump to New Colossus. New Colossus does have a recap video if you would, you know, if you're dead set on jumping into New Colossus, but I think New Order is a great game in its own right and very much worthwhile a playthrough. And it's a game you can pop in, and if you have a free weekend, you can complete it over the weekend, and then you can jump right into New Colossus. It's, again, like a 9 to 12 hour game, and a pretty good one at that. So $8, again, on PlayStation Now as well. Next up, we have Hollow Knight Voidheart Edition, which is 55% off for $6.74. Now, this might be a brand new low for the game, and from that standpoint, it's easy to recommend it. It is an excellent Metroidvania title with a great presentation style, just a very charming and colorful style of presentation. It's very, very colorful. And obviously, as the Metroidvania genre generally is, it is a relatively difficult game as well, but very much worth a playthrough, especially if you're into the genre. You're going to enjoy it quite a bit. Even if you're not into the genre and you want to get into Metroidvanias, I would usually point at games like Hollow Knight. I would point at like a Dead Cells. Those are like my top two at this stage of the game, but $6.74 for Hollow Knight Voidheart Edition is an excellent deal. Highly recommended. Next up, circling back to the horror theme, Frictional Games' SOMA is 85% off for $4.49. Another game that is available through PlayStation Plus if you want to get it that way. Excellent horror game. I know Frictional is most known for Amnesia, and yes, Amnesia is excellent, but Soma, in my opinion, is on another level. When you talk about atmospheric games, when you talk about games that absorb you into the world and really set you into that eerie mood, I feel like Soma does a fantastic job. It's set in this remote underwater research facility, and that setting is done really well, and it's a horror game that really does keep you a bit trepidatious, does instill a little bit of fear in you, and I think that's good for a horror game to do, at least if that's what you're going for. There's different ways to present a horror game, but I thought Soma is presented really well in the sense of capturing the player, bringing them into the world, and again, actually instilling fear in the player. And I don't know, maybe I'm a little bit stretching that. I played Soma right when it came out, and that's the elements of the game that really drew me into it. Again, available on PlayStation Now, but $4.49 is an excellent deal. Next up, we have Night School Studios Oxenfree, 60% off for $3.99. Oxenfree 2 is in development, so that's very exciting. Very much a story-driven game that is kind of a coming-of-age story. It's a group of friends on a vacation, and, you know, their character interactions are very, I would say charming to an extent, but also very relatable. Like, if you were growing up, the interactions between the character, I thought were done really well. It doesn't seem too outlandish. I mean, there are some supernatural elements introduced and things like that, but I thought the story in this game was very strong. Presentation's great, love the art style, music is solid as well, and for $4, I think it's a great pickup. Go check it out. Night School Studio, I believe, is also a studio that's comprised of some people that have worked on Telltale games, so you definitely get that vibe going on for it as well. So, great pickup there, check it out. And lastly, Darkest Dungeon, 80% off for $4.99. Might be wrong on this, but this also might be a new low for the game. Darkest Dungeon is a game that a lot of people really enjoy. I think a lot of people enjoy this game more so than me, so take that for what you will, but it's a very challenging game that is a turn-based RPG in this gothic environment, and the setting and the presentation is really strong, but do expect something that is a little bit more on the challenging side. Some of the mechanics are not for everyone, I would say, but I think that is kind of the alluring factor of the game, that it does add a layer of strategy to it. And for $5, what a great deal this is in terms of value for your dollar. You're getting a really good pickup here, so check that out if you're interested. The Ancestral Edition is also on sale. That's 80% off for $8, so if you would want some extra content, you can check that out as well. But that's gonna do it for me. Again, a lot of great deals going on right now outside of the horror sale. You've got the extended play sale, you've got the games under $20 sale, you've got the holiday sales coming up, you got the Black Friday sales coming up. There's going to be a lot to cover over the next month, month and a half, so buckle up, as they would say, and we'll get to that as the sales are rolling out. But that's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.